in a 1v1 situation, you know, a questionable decision from him. Instead of planting the bomb, which was something his team desperately needed because of the economy, he decides to jump over from default towards triple. Taco, who was last spotted at Cat, was in connector, just holding the angle. Video Op makes a nice flick. He keeps playing great in this series, but, you know, after that was when SK really took over the game, so to speak. You could see with how much confidence they were playing.
And that confidence was something you noticed a lot of, Chad.
Yeah, definitely. They were just very brazen in their you know, attempts at retaking sites. They didn't care. They were just aggressive across the board. Just to build on the clutch statistic there that Yanko was pulling out. coldzera won a 1v1, a 1v2, and a 1v3. That's 3 rounds right there. And Taco won 2 1v1s and a 1v2. That's 6 rounds that they've won in, you know, disadvantaged scenarios coming up big. And that's definitely going to help, you know, bolster the rounds. But
FaZe won 0 clutches. They didn't won a single clutches.
But that's something we painted a picture of, being like, that's a strong suit. That's how Inferno went so well for them, is they were winning those situations.
Yeah, those 2v4s, you know, those kind of rounds usually going in the way of FaZe, but it wasn't to be this time around. And, you know, I think that confidence was also into some of the plays that the guys from SK were making. We have a clip here that this is an AX cube that's going to come in now. Actually, you can see this is for pushing through a mid-smoke and grabbing 2 kills, but it's not as simple as that, right? If we just pause it right now, you can see what's happened here. You have the AX cubes come in from FaZe. Now, you got Fallen here with a lot of map information still. Now, the kill went down here on bolts at A ramp, so they still have that. They still know that it's not that A attack, right? They have the early information. Now, if you look in the connector area, we have coldzera and Fur, and coldzera is actually going to pop flash Fur out middle here because they know that the A attack isn't coming through, and they know the strategies that FaZe like to run. So he's going to push through and he's going to clear out middle and give a lot of information. You can play the clip out now. We saw the frags come in before at the start of the clip, but this is basically just, you know, a great mid-round play, and this is aggression that you wouldn't normally see coming through.
And that flashbang from coldzera wasn't necessarily to catch the people that Fur was looking towards the window. It was the players who would have caught him from behind, right? That was the whole idea. Was it flashing into mid to cover his movement towards that window?
I don't think we really see it. This was probably for someone if they were lurking top mid, or perhaps someone was lurking around that smoke, but he just gets, you know, he picks right, basically, the side that he peeks. And this is definitely something that's going to frustrate both Nico and Olof, right? 5v4, why are we, like, boosting up window? Why don't we just, like, try and split the bombs and give us more duels, more fights? But I don't know. I don't think in this particular half you can blame Carrigan as much because his players didn't really help him out a lot. I mean, Nico had his worst game in a very, very long time, especially considering Mirage is usually his playground, right? Henry was pointing out that one situation where he was peeking apps. Bolts wasn't necessarily looking at him either. Like, Nico wins that fight almost every single time, and that fight gives them the bomb site, and that maybe gives them the round.
And what's interesting as well is if you call back an interview recently, they were talking, I think it was actually to Carrigan, and he was saying that some of the issues that they're working on, one of which is Guardian and Olof communicating in English, and how that those are the 2 players that are having the most difficulty moving from, of course, speaking their native tongue to now going into that second language. And we brought up a clip, Chad, where we do see miscommunication, disjointed play, and I know that you wanted to talk a little bit about this.
This was just a clutch scenario with Taco, right? It was a 2-on-1 situation. Taco had a fantastic game, but this one should never have happened, right? So you can see them posturing here, you can see the low on HP. So you're going to see Olof jumping on this box. Let's pause it right here. This is where the situation makes no sense, right? We've got Olof up on top of the box waiting. He's on low on HP. But if you have a look over here, Carrigan has the kit. He's the one that has to tap the defuse, and he has an MP7. So for him to take this duel, he needs to trade off of Olof. Olof needs to be giving his life away for Carrigan here to be able to get the kill. Now play out the clip. You can see what happens. You see how much time he's just sitting on top of the box. Carrigan can't even tap the bomb without any help. You know, he needs Olof to actually be in there and giving his life up for him to win the round. Taco's just going to, you know, wait for the tap. It comes on in. Going to use the Tech 9 that we never see.
Yeah, you got jumping Tech 9 as well, I think, at one point.
Yeah, before that, in the same round. And this is where I think the panic factor comes in for FaZe as well. This is probably where someone who's dead is also saying, Olof, like, you can't stand there. You know, he can't defuse. Maybe the comms were bad, that the plant was on the other side of the default box or something along those lines. They had time. They had ample time. They could have even swapped guns, you know, outside of field of vision, and then have Carrigan be aggressive 100%. Or cover him like long range with the M4 and have Olof with the MP7 defuse. But you know, it was just it was so horrible watching it. You could see like they were just falling apart in that round.
Horrible to watch, yes, but not horrible to watch for SK themselves and for SK fans. There's plenty in the Odense crowd. They've been getting some cheering, and of course Fallen saying that if you want to support, you've got a choice to make. You either support SK or you make this arena like a library. I'm sure it got a little quiet towards the end of Mirage, but we did find some with vocal cords still. Stunner is standing by with some SK fans.
Standing by with one man, indeed, Alex from Cologne, I believe it is, straight from Germany, straight from the heartland of SK Gaming. Talk to me about your trip here, bud.
The trip was really nice here to come to Denmark. At first, I never heard about Odense, And then I saw this tournament in Odense, and for me, I must to go there and enjoy this tournament.
Well, you're not the only SK Gaming fan in the house tonight. I think we have a couple more SK Gaming fans. There they are. That's them. That's them right there. Now listen, SK is sitting in the driver's seat right now. You got one map away. We're going to train. Can it happen? Don't worry, the whole room won't hate you at one time. That's a good thing. That's a sigh of relief.
SK should win this map, and I hope it.
Oh, well, I'm totally understandable. Now, one thing I do have to point out, though, is you've got the swag, my man. You've got the hat. You've got the jersey. Where did you get all this cool stuff?
I get this on the ESLshop.com.
It's weird how that works out. That's right, shop.eslgaming.com. Head over there and grab some sick merch. Either way, we have got a sick map coming up here. We could be seeing the end of the series. I'm going to go ahead and toss it back to the Xfinity analyst desk.
Oh, fantastic stuff. Yes, indeed, SK fans are absolutely everywhere. And all the way from Cologne, we get to hear from Alex. Love your name, by the way. But before we start talking about our next map, Train, of course, where SK have forged somewhat of their Counter-Strike dynasty, and we'll be talking all about that and FaZe's chances and what will crop up. A little bit of fun and games, just to catch our breath for a second. Now, I've got a question for you guys. This is a serious question. You're very good at answering Counter-Strike ones. But,
yep,
Chad,
ready.
If you could choose one member from the Counter-Strike talent team, who would you have as a roommate?
Whoa.
Yeah, I'll let Yanko think about that as well. I was coming to you after.
It wouldn't be you. I think you're a bit messy. It'd probably be Jason, actually.
Oh, fair.
Jason feels like an adult. I think me and Jason would go pretty well as roommates.
I am a little bit of a mess. That's cool. Yanko knew straight away. Who is it?
It's Jason. Easy. I already roomed with Jason like Barcelona and Dubai, something like that.
Yeah.
Jason is so easy to room with. He just pops an NyQuil every night, falls right to sleep, no snoring, no funny business. Although he's still on my list because in Dubai, he pulled the card off while I was taking a shower, so obviously I lost the light and everything.
Well,
apparently that was an accident, Alex. But
yeah. I've shared a room with you, Yanko. You're no angel either. He's just listening to loud Balkan disco at 8 AM in the shower. So you know, we're all.
Listen, at least you were never late back then.
I wasn't. I had Daddy Yanko. But we actually asked the players the same question, so let's check in with them and see what their answers were.
I like to share rooms with all of them, but if I had to pick one, it'd probably be Config because like he snores like a bear.
That's a tough one. I would have to say MSL.
Cajun. The one I'm trying to avoid nowadays is Boats, but I have been with him for the last 3 tournaments. But this tournament, I say enough. I can't take it anymore.
I would never share a room with Boats because I heard that it's impossible.
Kevin, HS. I don't think I would like to share a room with him for undisclosed reasons.
I would never want to share a room with Magic Boy.
I would never want to share a room with any teammate that snores because I did it for 1 year, so Freiburg.
The one I hate the most sharing a room with is probably Danny, but that's only because of his snoring. It's really loud.
Sonic?
Definitely Sonic because he snores so much.
I would never share a room with Guardian since he snores like a bear.
I would probably not live with Finn. He's a bully.
Probably Lade or Finn. They like to bully everyone, so especially me, so it's really hard.
Well, I room with Shaz like every time, so let me think about this here.
I would have to pick David, definitely because he's a gassy fella.
Well, at the boot camp, at the end of the boot camp, Devo Duvek had a lot of plates, glasses, and utensils on his table. Like, I mean, half of probably what the house started with was accumulating on this guy's table. We didn't even know it. It was all behind his monitor. So I can't imagine his rooms look very good, I'm going to say. So I'm going to go with David.
Oh, it's a tough one. I would share a room with all my teammates, I think.
I'm not sure. No one, I think. Everyone is nice.
I haven't shared a room with everyone yet, so I'm not sure.
Hate to do it, but Josh, because I know he farts while he sleeps.
Zeus. He snores very loud. Zeus for sure.
Well, we're learning an awful lot about various players' sleeping patterns, but no one will be sleeping on this grand final. It's going to be huge. FaZe SK continues then as we do go into another map. It's a best of 5. We now find ourselves at the 4. Time flies when you're having fun. Train, our next one. And I mean, where do you want to start with this one, Chad? I mean, we can't help but say that, you know, SK are, well, at one point were kings of this very map.
That's true, and I'm very scared for FaZe right now because their T-sides have looked abysmal, and even on Train, right, we've seen them have like struggles in the past. Let's think about the Renegades game, right? Even then, you know, they made them sweat back in Oakland, they took it to them, and if that's something that they haven't addressed and they haven't worked out how to deal with, you know, these rigid executes aren't working, and Train is a map where you kind of rely on those as well. I don't know where the balance is going to come from this team. Their CT sides, the individuals started to stand up and frag on Mirage. Maybe let them off the leash a little bit early. Let them take those heads-up duels and run with that momentum.
I mean, that's something that I think you've kind of been calling for a while as well, Yanko. Just letting to see a little less of these executes and a bit more of the FaZe flair.
I mean, on Mirage, looking at that game, right? Because you have the likes of, okay, Nico had a pretty bad game, but in general, you know, he can take a duel against anyone. Similar for Rain at the moment, similar for Guardian with the AWP. Olaf is even playing well. Let them do that. Let them try and find some fights, perhaps, if your executes aren't working. But this is actually where it becomes a really an uphill struggle for FaZe. 3 of their best maps have now been gone in this series. Train is one of the few maps where they have a losing record. They have 3 wins, 4 losses, and an overtime at Blast Pro Series. So even their wins are not that impressive. You know, Renegades, the best win is probably against Cloud9, considering that's a strong map for the North American team.
Yeah, interestingly enough, they haven't played against each other on this map for the last 6 months, so a whole lot has changed. I do have the result as well from that one. It was a full overtime game at the ECS finals.
I mean, on the contrary, for SK, this is like one of their better maps with Bolts now. Played it 3 times at Epicenter, won every single time. Their sole loss was against Cloud9 at Oakland, so they're more comfortable. Initially, we saw Taco play outside and Bolts playing inner. Seems like they've switched from that. Now they put Taco back in his natural little habitat towards that B bomb site, and they left Bolts to figure it out on A.
Makes a lot of sense as well, because we talk about players being comfortable, and you know, when you have one person who's so good at that position, there's no point making him uncomfortable.
Yeah, and he does it like as a support player, right? It's not known for getting all those frags. He's just known to be able to, you know, mitigate that aggression, get the rotation in, play well with Fur or Fall, and whoever's coming in to help him, and away from there they go.
Yanko, your closing thoughts?
And the FaZe has had different issues on this map. Even on the CT side, they sometimes struggle against a fast-paced style, even when opponents just, you know, try to sneak out and go for duels, which should be something that they basically dominate their opponents on. So let's see if they made in these couple of days the necessary adjustments on Train, especially on that T side, to take this to the 5th.
Can they get it competitive? Can we get to see that 5th map? It is just a question of what FaZe can do, because there is no question that SK came to lift that trophy. They've looked fantastic over the course of the previous 3. Now it's time for the 4th. It's Train with your casters, Henry G and Sado.
Well, the first map went to FaZe, the next 2 went to SK. The last one looked like it was going to be convincing, although FaZe did put up a bit of an effort in the second half.
Indeed.
Money had a lot to do with that. Now, it's back onto SK's territory. They pick Train, and FaZe have it all to do. And Kerrigan, does the curse continue, or can he force cash?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this could be the final map of the evening. Let's make some noise one more time as we get into Train. It will be SK starting the T side here, so a bit of a lifeline there for FaZe. They can get established here on the CT side. With the pistol to build up their confidence once again after a poor showing on Mirage. It's Olaf, Meister and Guardian holding towards inner. Olaf towards that upper ramp, but the bomb resides towards Ivy for now. That's where Kerrigan sits. Everyone seems to know that that's where he plays on the T side and the CT area. Also fallen weight with the bomb. Taco and Coldzera just showing presence towards inside for now. Got full control of the Brown Horse. Rain waits inside the Pop Dog. 1 minute 20 remaining. Still have 1 smoke, 2 flashbangs here.
Guardian transitions over. Further vision down the lanes inside of B as Olaf still sits in behind main Train. And Nico, what a start. Bound inside of the Pop Dog. Bolts tries to make up for it, finds 1. He's got a chance to get Kerrigan, and he's got that as well. But he's walked in and grabbed the bomb back with a teammate to Hade. It's Coldzera that finds the next kill on a Rain. Olaf backs off the old bomb. Brings Guardian rotating all the way around from CT. In fact, brings Guardian into the only player left. A tough situation. As they started off so well with the first 2 picks, it's gone all the other way since as Guardian goes in with the P2000. Tries to find a shot up towards Fur. Does at least get 1. The other 2, mid HP. Guardian has the kits, but Cold's got the shot. SK pick up a pistol. And that brings us, I believe, level in terms of pistol in this series. or just about.
We open things up on Inferno with a 3 versus 1 clutch for Guardian in the opening pistol, but it's Bolts that recovers a 5-on-3 situation. That's a nightmare for FaZe. It looks so promising. Rain with the kill towards Popdog. Carrigan got one at the side alley, but wasn't quite enough there. It's going to have to be the force buy here on the CT side. They trail 1-0. They'll have 3 CZ, the Desert Eagle Guardian, the Scout, of course. A couple of rifles for SK as they head towards inside. Olofmeister's got his work cut out from spots 1. Only have 1 smoke to work with it. That's Carrigan. That's already been deployed to go towards the upper round. This is a very viable anti-eco strategy. You have this bird's eye view of the bomb site, but so far it's not really working out. 2 kills coming in. But Fallen replies straight away. 3-on-3 as Fallen just completely destroys the inside defense. It's up to Nico and Rain to try and do anything with this, but it's looking very unlikely. Good effort from Carrigan and Olofmeister, but quickly fell apart.
Fell apart indeed. Nico's going to try and push back up beside the tanker. There's 2 kills again, same as the pistol round. Go to FaZe Clan. Had a problem getting the opening kills. They've had the problem getting all of the kills afterward as Rain comes into. Oh, what a shot! A 1-on-2 situation as he gets cold through the edge of the smoke.
Yeah, he's got the head armor, he's got the scout, but no kits or grenades. It's unlikely he gets anything more out of this. It's Fallen trying to deny him saving the scouts, and he will make his way away. It's going to be Bolts that's going to be saving his AK-47. 3 kills for Fallen. As we said, great attempt there by FaZe, but not quite enough. You go towards that inside bomb site, focus on the upper area, use those rifles, and you're able to mow down the CTs. That was the idea anyway. It didn't really go like that until Fallen got down that lower ramp and found 3 AK kills with the 2 players in front of him. So we do bring over the scouts to round number 3. Guardian with that. Rain will be down to a CZ and head armor. Carrigan got a kit just in case he gets a little bit spicy here.
Could well do. Rain's up close. We'll have to work with. Cold. The one waiting above. Oh, timing drops down. Aim not set when you're in the air, I'm afraid. Station, he might have been better off as Fur's going to chase them off and back toward the site. Pre-fire just in case they were still on the ramp, but they have gotten away.
Timing so awkward there for Goldzera. Had it perfectly read. The moment he drops down is when they come around the corner, and they've managed to recover the AK-47 in the hands of Rain. He's got head armor, so they've actually got a chance now of winning this round. Olofmeister gets given the CZ. 2 AKs, 2 MAC-10s, and oh my god, goodbye Nico. As he jumps through out of A main, he'll get a kill in return and levels the playing field to a 4-on-4.
Waiting at Hell will watch backtracks. Tonka will allow him better positioning inside of the site by crossing it. Should he elect to do so by smoking off the Ivy position, and Fallen just waits actually. It forces Carrigan through. Set up Rain to the ticket booth, but he can't get anything with it.
Fallen had a really strong showing on Mirage. He continues that form here on Train, saves him over a couple of rounds there. They will try and save the AK-47 and the Scout, but the looks of things here. With the CZ, he'll just continue to try and find frags towards that connector. Guardian at the backtracks now with the Scout to see if he can keep FaZe at least a little bit modest here, but it's going to be SK finding the 3-0. It will save the AK-47 head armor. That's going to be very beneficial in terms of stabilizing the financial predicament they're in right now. Olofmeister doesn't really matter if he goes on there. He didn't have the armor or anything to save. He's just trying to take some players down with him. It won't be the case, and they'll save the Scout. I almost said they're surely going to get rid of that weapon. There's no real benefit to having that in the first gun round, but it is Guardian. He does enjoy using it. We'll see if he decides to throw it away. He wants to keep it. Goes to the CZ as his sidearm instead. Of course, Falling with the Scout, they've got a bit of a bonus situation here with the 2 MAC-10s. There are 2 players without helmets. That's Nico and Olofmeister, so look out for them if they get taken down by those SMGs.
Rain wants to get aggressive. Flashes a little bit early, which means Fur's going to have his vision back. He turns around and catches Rain out immediately. Fur therefore is able to upgrade to the AK-47. FaZe can't afford to be in yet another deficit.
Yeah, well, that's where they found themselves. They've lost the first pick. Guardian, just to reiterate, he's only got the Scout here. As will in round number 4. They have to try and recover this. Nico towards A main. He'll push forward and ready and waiting. Good position. Bolts to back him up at the same time. Watching for anyone to cross over and try and get in towards first position. 3 players towards inside. That's what they're anticipating here. Carrigan, Guardian, Olofmeister holding strong there. Nico to hold outside by himself. He's got the AK. Will it be enough as the Molotovs and smoke start to rain in? Nico has to find at least 2 kills in the mid is realistic, but Fur outflanks him. That's going to be the round. They're going to have to save once again there.
I'm a bit curious as to whether the flame noise or something else that Nico had an inkling about denied such noise cues that Fur was so close. He didn't slow down and he rushed straight around the train to catch him off.
Well, this is such good news for SK Gaming, Matt. The fact they won that round of 3 AKs, well, 2 AKs, the AWP, and 2 MAC-10s. It's Rain that tries to get aggressive at the very start. You could see flashbangs coming in. They were good, but he didn't check the close left corner. He got taken down by the MAC-10. He was one of the players with the helmets. He'll get punished for it, and now Fur can definitely justify going with a bit of a hunt here. He finds 1 kill, presumably looking for the AWP, but it's going to be Guardian greeting him for Scout instead.
Fair enough. That'll work. Could see the legs before he actually got around the corner, so he would have known that he was crouched and had the headshot line up.
This is smart from coldzera. He knows he wants that AK. He doesn't want that Scout anymore.
And he can see the feet. Same thing in return. Good find.
Yeah, very well done.
He'll grab the AK himself, and expires. He'll get away with it. 4-0 SK. Chad said it on the desk. FaZe have been struggling tremendously on their CT sides, which is extremely worrying against SK on this map.
Yeah, absolutely. Hasn't been good enough so far. 4-0 once again. This time Guardian has got the AWP. Remember, he didn't purchase into the previous round, so he has the AWP, but no armor. This can be one of his absolute best maps. It's a very AWP-centric affair here on Train. We're going towards inside this time. No one towards Ivy or main entrance. It's up to olofmeister to try and challenge. He's got the M4, but only an HE grenade now as they go in towards the upper ramp once again. Guardian will be able to back him up. Olive watches towards up. That hits one, looking for the double spray down, but that's enough. He gets them. That's really well played by olofmeister. The frag will come in from Fur. Bomb to be planted. They have got the fuse kits, but Fallen. He's starting to hit shots now with the AWP. That's the FaZe sniper dropping. Can they even consider this retake once again? The FAMAS in the hands of Carrigan. It's up to Rain. It will be legged down to 8 HP.
It wasn't even like we stood against the wall. He just barely gets back down as cold. Excuse me, as Fallen rather, spotted him trying to do so through the smoke. Nico just walks into his own death. And all the good work that Fur did to get 2, he did everything that Olaf tried to do on the counter entry. He found 2 early on, and again they got found out. The immediate refrag from Fur, he follows it up a 3rd in the round. Falling on the AWP to babysit the bomb plant was tremendous as well. 5.
It was a really nice setup there from FaZe. Guardian completely patrolling towards that lower ramp. olofmeister, good communication as said. He watched up. He manages to get both kills there. But once again, another 5-on-3 and it all falls apart. It's happened, what, 2 or 3 times now on this particular half. 5-0 and it's another eco here for FaZe. They've got a partial by the maximum loss bonus. They've got the CZs, Deagles, a couple of smokes, but looking very unlikely. And once again, towards the upper ramp we go. It is the most beneficial place to go against the pistols, and olofmeister knows it. Flashbangs start to come through. It is the inside execution once again. They'll be checking this position and firing it as they drop down. His teammates trying to do what they can around him. olofmeister gets one. Not going to be enough, though. There it is. Once more, it's SK Gaming with an impeccable performance so far on Train. 6-0, almost guaranteed. As just Carrigan and Nico are left to pick up the pieces.
Nico back around. He's got the angle held off. Another explosive start from SK as Nico goes back. Nico can't quite land it. Can't quite spot it. Anticipated perhaps that Fur would be there, but AK still wins. Carrigan.
Hello.
That's a pretty good shot.
Yeah, not bad. He'll try and get the AK.
Well, that's the goal.
Try is the operative word there. Don't think they'll allow him to pick it up, especially considering he's got no armor. He knows it's got almost no chance. He's going to wait and see if anyone tries to hunt him down towards the end.
The bomb could, I didn't see exactly where it is. It might be outside of the door clipping, but the bomb could detonate and blow that toward him. So I think Fallen, yeah, he's going to change angle. That's exactly what happened. That's even better. Bomb's not going to put it anywhere near him now, is it?
Yeah, that's actually good awareness. Good point you made.
Good read. Carrigan even goes, ah, damn.
Where is it?
That's smart. That's clever. Mind games from Fallen. 6-0 for SK.
Little dink there towards the end. But this is do or die time for FaZe. If you're just joining us, this is the 4th map of this epic best of 5. Currently SK lead 2-1, and then up 6-0 on the 4th map. They're heavily favoured here on Train. CT sides for FaZe haven't been fantastic. They've changed things up though. Nico and Guardian with the double AWP setup. Guardian once again glass cannon. The money has been such a factor for FaZe throughout this affair. On the AWP this time. Must have had a decent spawn. Sako tries to control towards the Brownhorns once again. olofmeister a little bit more committed at the low ramp.
On the ledge. Different angle when they walk in. Olaf's going to hope that he can get some support as well from Guardian. AWP's extremely quick. He's got the backside covered off. Pre-fires into the last. I think it's just the AWP in that position, and Olaf does at least get one. So the bait still works to some sense, even though Guardian was extinguished from the play pretty early on.
Another advantage here for FaZe, but this time they hold on to it. At least for longer than 5 seconds. It's a 5-on-4 in their favor. Fallen's still alive. Like we said, it's Cold Zero with the AWP this time. It holds towards inside. Guardian and all off to patrol in up. Slam in the Romanians trying to flush out, pull it up around and get some information. Inside has been such a massive issue here for FaZe.
Down for a cross.
Yeah, that is lovely little smoke as Rain will get one, but still answered back by Fallen.
And that's caused the rotation. Guardian and Olaf both backing off. Olaf gets to Z connector. Kerrigan's going to try and play off him, but Guardian and Fur absolutely executes him with a great fake execution as he walks in from upper. Olaf's going to try and nade down the lane. But the bomb already planted in a 3-3. Kit zone 2. Smoke from Olaf thrown out early. Excuse me, just an 8. I thought that was a smoke that he still had. But Kerrigan still has the kill. They're going to get on this immediately as well. Kerrigan has one of the kits. Cold, he's held off from 4. They've got to get to Kerrigan now. Oh, they just barely have done it. Fallen gets the kill. Cold was there if not, and he goes back out and finds Olaf in the one-on-one.
Losing that advantage once again. What a glorious mid-round call from Fallen. Sends 2 of his players down towards Popdog, he of which is included. They managed to force a rotation. You spotted it. And then Fur, he finds Guardian in such an awkward spot. He's standing in the open, trying to watch between lower ramp and upper at the same time. Fur comes in and executes him. Kerrigan on the retake there does find the player close towards the bomb train. Young Alex there, yeah, he's enjoying himself. It was a glorious round. That really does send out a message to FaZe now. They go for the full defuse. I like that call from Kerrigan. If you get a frag like that, you know they're going to be trying to rotate back in, but Cold Zero, the AWP, hits absolutely everything. 7-0. Has to be another partial buy for FaZe. This is all falling apart very quickly. They got the opening pick. They fell back. It was looking so promising for them. Another advantage given away. We've got a shotgun, a scout, 3 pistols.
Alex from Cologne, an SK fan. Who would have thought? Yeah. Alex Mueller, SK's from there.
Exactly. A spy.
It's fitting. Yeah, exactly. The faceless man, he's put on a different face for this event just to be in the crowd. Rain CZ will play aggressive. I haven't seen a lot of Ivy pressure, to be fair. The first time we've actually seen some activity out this way.
They just keep going inside time and time again. There's bullying in that area. And Fallen with an opening shot. Sneaker that goes down. 1 minute 25. Wait for the reactions to come through. Olafmeister knows he needs to do something with Max 7. He'll push towards Inner. He's joined by Guardian here. This weapon can be deadly, this sort of range. Taco knows it, but he'll take down Olaf. A couple of frags coming in now. 3-on-3. This round isn't necessarily over. Just as they push towards Inner, Rain pops up the Popdog. And now 3-on-2. He's got the CZ armor as well. Kerrigan with that scout. A lot of work still to do here. As Kerrigan rotates towards Inner, knowing that he's got no presence there whatsoever. Smoke down towards lower will keep him at bay. As Rain, this could be interesting. It comes down to timings here. Unfortunately, I don't think it will work in his favor. Kerrigan has to watch Inner. Rain did go towards T-spawn, but they went down Popdog towards the outer bomb site. That's now planted. They have not got a kit. Bolts finds Kerrigan. And that's going to be another round in favor of SK. They've won the half already. 8 rounds in.
Yeah, that's... Chad, I'm speechless. Listen to me. Chad was dead right. I mean, the CT sides have been atrocious. They've just been getting ripped apart in every way. Even when they get the early picks, SK knows exactly how to play off of each other to get them back. And FaZe are struggling to get anything going, and it might be time to start looking at some aggression.
They tried that. Rain rushed towards A main. They've given that a go.
To be fair, the flash he threw was very early in that case, but you're right, he did. Nothing toward Ivy, but there hasn't been anything thrown there. It's
difficult to get your confidence in your players if they're not fragging at all. To push in towards positions like Ivy, main entrance, Popdog, low ramp, when you're SK hitting absolutely everything, they're wrecking you in every department, your money's not stable. It's difficult to say, I want to push this area. You need, as an in-game leader, you can't just rely on yourself to make those sort of calls. Your teammates have to say, I want to push inside. I want to take this.
Absolutely, they have to have
the
confidence to take the duels. And you can't just send them there.
Exactly, and they won't have that confidence right now. They're not finding any sort of form. Double up setup once again. This time I was on towards Olafmeister. Just to note, that was a tactical pause from SK. So what have they got up their sleeve now?
Nico 1 for 8 again.
Oh, that's disappointing.
He's had a lot of eco kills. That's about it. In the last half of the second map, that speaks for itself. 8-0. And interestingly enough, it was SK that called that timeout.
Yes.
Because they want to continue the lead. They know it's going to be another gun round.
This is when you do the outside execution, right? You know the orbs are coming out. They're going to be desperate. Exactly. This is when you go for one of those plays, wall of smoke. But Olafmeister with a chance to take down Taco. Taco very aware of this. sort of predicament. Paul missed that. Cold Zera looking for Rain. Rain is so strong in the pod block usually. Flashbangs can go down. They can do the totem pole drop as well. They've got Molotovs at the mouth of this position. They might just do that. As Rain looking for anyone to land into his crosshair. Guardian has to watch main entrance and cover his back. There's the Molotov to push him back somewhat. He will submit for now. Still want to challenge as he takes unreasonable down. He doesn't have to
spread. I think it spread late. He wasn't expecting it. Just crept around the door. It's almost a bit of bad luck for Rain.
Well, there's the outside smokes and the flashbangs. They won't commit on it though. CT still with the double ult setup. They have got the kits. 2 flashbangs remaining. No kills coming in as we hit the 45-second mark.
We'll go over with Fur. Guardian, Rain again. They finally have something to work with. Outside shut down for once. SK hasn't gone here lots. And one time they do, it's the double ops. Guardian's able to find now a second kill as well. As Bolts tries to find anything at all from Quad. Wraps back around the red, but be very careful because Rain's still inside of Pop Dog, and finally a round for FaZe.
What a round it is as well. Rain manages to get 3 kills there, 2 of which with the M4, picks up the AK-47 and executes Bolts towards the end. This is what we're looking for. So we went for the totem drop. That's when both players stand at each other's head, go down. The idea is you have double firepower, 2 targets, and it's unlikely he kills both of you. But Rain steps up there, and it will be 8-1. FaZe with 5 players surviving as well. That's actually very good news for them, because in terms of a reset next round, they'll still be able to buy. It'll be amazing, but still, that's promising at least. This half isn't done just yet. Double ult setup still will ring true. And Fallen, still the AWP after this investment. We've got 1 more buy remaining for SK. So FaZe need to get 2 rounds in a row right now to stand any chance of taking this to another map.
Carrying him a smoke down this time, and they've slowed the pace. SK, let's go back out toward Ivy, and they're continuously pushing toward inner. Start to play more of a standardized default, what we expect to see on Train. Money's not amazing. Again, 8 rounds in a row, and then just the 1 for FaZe. This could, not quite, but put them into less to work with for SK in the next round. It's T-side, so they'll still be able to buy, but they're getting there, considering. Arrogant, good hold. Bolt pushes through. He's able to evade inside of the smoke, and he'll grab the AK-47. Naturally, the upgrade between the 2 rifles. Top Train finds 1. Gets overwhelmed. He actually hears an AK firing because Rain has 1 carried over from the last round. He thought perhaps there was someone behind him. He hasn't heard too many friendly AKs this half. Guardian finds Fallen, but not before he found Kerrigan. It may not matter. It's 1 versus 4. Cold's going to back out.
2 very good rounds from FaZe. SK, after this changing their game plan, after taking that tactical pause with the 8-0 lead, they give it up. They slow things right down, going to those defaults. This time focusing towards Ivy, an area you called out wasn't being focused on very much. And it's Kerrigan to get that first frag, upgrade to the AK-47, and Guardian starting to find some terrific form now. He's been great throughout. Even when his teammates have been lacking, he's still finding the frags. With the AKs, the pistols, the AWP, he's the one lifeline they've got right now. 8-2 comes in, as we said. There is money available for 1 more buy here for SK after losing 2 in a row. They saved 1 AK-47. The orb comes out for the last time here if they give this round up. Number 11.
In this particular series, I keep referencing the CT side, but terrorist sides on Train with this roster aren't much better. Most rounds achieved was 8 versus an IP in North. And Chad's also pointed out that of 7 rounds, the first 7 rounds, 5 of them FaZe had the opening and it couldn't get hurt. I mean, it's been incredible how SK pulls it back time and time again.
They do. It's nuts. Towards inside we go. This is where they found all the success. Might as well keep doing it. It all started to go wrong once they went back to the defaults, and Olof Meister with the defaults. 1 wants to Jacko. He almost certainly hits this shot even through the smoke. Narrowly misses out. I thought that was hitting for sure, but the bomb goes down. No frags exchanged. That's a bit of a blunder here. Nico, 1 for 8, finds his 2nd of the map so far.
He can keep going though. There's 2 smokes down. He can easily keep going because he's able to lose them inside of the smoke by coming to the left side of the Train. The problem is they've lost Fur and Cold. And Fur's gotten very aggressive. Can't quite get away from Kerrigan, who pushes back through Z. Cold stuck on the site as well. Nowhere to hide.
With no frags being exchanged, Olof Meister misses that shot through the smoke. Virgil right down the backtracks. That's what you want to be doing. Kerrigan takes him down, and somehow they win the round. 3 in a row now. As you hear the crowd come to life. Rain, the hero of the previous, he'll be on the AK-47 this time. Have a default, not focusing towards that inner bomb, so they keep finding success. Narrowly missing out there. Taco, what a tournament he's had. Has fallen. This is ambitious with the AWP and be taken down. Caught out in the open. Nico will get hit in the process, but stay alive.
Taco. Tries to make contact with Olaf again. An early pick for FaZe. Keep that stat in mind. Fur looks for a response. Nico just walks into it again. Not what we expect to see from Nico. 4 for 10. No consistency. It's Rain again at 9 and 6. That's holding them together, if you want to call it that, at 8-3. Kerrigan still holding on toward Ivy as well. No one out there as of right now for SK. Group toward A main once more. Smoke and sandwich means Fur can get a little deeper with his Molotov placement. That'll go toward the hitch and force Rain over to ladder side control. Means that he can't peek wide when Fur walks in, but Guardian and Kerrigan can, and together they find everyone. Guardian with 3 on the AWP, in fact.
Looks like we might not be done here quite yet. 4 rounds in a row for FaZe. It's Guardian showing us that he still is considered one of the world's absolute best snipers here. Up and towards that heaven position, hits absolutely everything. That was just glorious. Fallen brings out the AWP once again. Around him are 4 pistols. They partially invested into this round, keeping themselves at about $1,500. Maximum loss bonus into the next. They'll boost up on the pallet, and he does spot one. Wasn't ready for it, though. FaZe, after being 8-0 down, starting to show some signs of life here. And Money's starting to get to a decent position. 1:25. Going back towards inner, that's where they found all of their success. Not off my step, as his work cut out for him. This time in the M4A4, they'll smoke down the lower ramp out of